One of the things about living and existing is that freedom of choice that we're all gifted with applies only to living. It doesn't apply to existing. We have no freedom of choice in the areas of our existence. Tall or short, male, female, strong or weak, intelligent or dull. We have no choice. That's given. Even life and death. To be or not to be. Not my problem. It's decided for me. Where I have freedom of choice is only in matters of life. To make a difference or not make a difference. To make a positive difference or negative difference. That I have freedom of choice. So that's another important piece of information, because people get very frustrated when they can't seem to control their existence, because they think they should be able to. After all, they have freedom of choice. So many different things influence your decision. So it is a choice. It's not a free choice. So in some way, what you're going to choose is very predictable. If you just had a big meal, you're not going to be hungry. If you're busy with something exciting, you're not going to want to break and go to eat. So it's a programmed choice, really. It's almost robotic. The real freedom that we have is when it comes to living. And there's a very good reason for that. Why would God give us freedom of choice at all? Can't he make better choices than we? What is the point of giving us freedom of choice? Like just to make fools of ourselves? Because we know we're going to make stupid choices. And then there are things where we can't even make a choice. We're paralyzed, we're handicapped, we can't. Out of our control. What is the virtue of having free choice? Who needs it? Like, I'm going to buy a house. Wouldn't it be better if God chooses the house? I'm going to buy a car. I really wish God would choose the car, because I end up with a lemon every time. So we would be so much better off if God would make the choices. So guess what? He does. When it comes to all issues of existence, he does make the choice. We don't have freedom. However, God wants us, for example, to love him. If God wants me to love him, he has to give me that freedom of choice. Otherwise, he won't get what he wants. Like if he chooses for me, whose love is he getting? He's not my love. He's loving himself. So the only way he can get my love is if he gives me freedom to not love him. So God gives us freedom only when he has to. Concerning a car, a house, a pair of shoes, no, he doesn't have to give us free choice. Much better that he make the choice. But when it comes to how I react to him, he wants my reaction. Well, then he can't choose it for me. Because then he's not getting what he wants. So if you want my love, you can't make me love you. Because you're defeating the purpose. So free choice comes only in those areas where we are responding to him in what he needs from us. What we need from him, he makes the choice, which is quite logical. So anything I need is already not coming from me. I'm already out of control. I need friendship. I need approval. I need safety. I need food. I didn't choose any of that. Those are given conditions. So already I'm out of control. But to love or not to love, who to love, not programmed in that at all. So there we have freedom of choice. But again, the important thing is that a person who gets frustrated because he can't control his existence is just making his own problems. You're not supposed to have control over your existence. That's not where we were given free choice. So let's talk about peer pressure, because it flows right into the topic. Peer pressure is the need to belong, the need to win approval, the need for reassurance that I'm okay. I'm a success. I'm significant. Look at the opposite of it. If everybody in your society, in your circle, rejects you, nobody wants you on their team when you're choosing up for baseball. Nobody wants you on their team. What does that do to you? The need for approval has been denied. That need, because it is a need, belongs to existence. All needs come from existence. Because by definition, to exist means to have needs. The person who is desperate for a better existence is going to need money, is going to need approval, is going to need to fit in. And if the group rejects you, you feel like you're a loser. So peer pressure also comes from a need for ego reassurance. Funny thing is, no matter how many people want you on their team, you're never satisfied because it doesn't work. You're trying to satisfy a need that isn't real. It can't be satisfied. If you want something that isn't a real need, you can't satisfy it. That's like the difference between intimacy and sex. Intimacy is a human need. Sex is just a pleasure. So people say, no, sex is a very deep need. I mean, you can never have enough. If you can never have enough, it means you don't need it. And that's like the example of the junk food or the Chinese food. You can never have enough Chinese food. It never satisfies. Why? Because it doesn't feed your hunger. It only feeds your palate. Junk food gives your mouth pleasure, but it doesn't satisfy your stomach. And your mouth doesn't have a need for food. Only your stomach does. So if you give your stomach what it needs, it's content. You satisfied a need. But you can't satisfy sex because it's not a need. It's like saying, when have you had enough pleasure? Never, because pleasure is not a need. It's a pleasure, like chocolate. Whoever says no to chocolate? You offer somebody some chocolate and they say, no, I've had a meal. So what does that have to do with chocolate? Chocolate is not there to satisfy hunger. So don't tell me you're not hungry. Have a piece of chocolate. So the need for for approval, for peer approval, is not a real need. And so you'll never have enough. The only solution is turn around and start giving approval, then you will feel content. Because that you really need. That's life, and you really need life. But to have your existence stroked or approved, or it's endless. So people who are giving in to peer pressure, it'll never satisfy. Like the most popular people, the most famous people, the biggest celebrities, they have no life. They're miserable creatures. Never get enough applause. You can never get enough approval. You can never have enough friends, never be famous enough. So peer pressure can only affect a person who is looking to get, not a person who's looking to give.
I want to invite you to join us as VIPs, partners in our work, and join us also for a personal chat with other members of the VIP club. We talk about many things. There's an opportunity to ask, to respond, to make a comment, to meet the other supporters. And together we can really make a difference in Jewish life and in life in general. So join us. It's goodtoknow.org. Log in, call, make contact, and join us with the VIPs.